Even though we have yet to see a trailer, I'm still pumped. So Captain Mar-Vell is going to be the next film within the MCU that will be released, and will come out roughly a month and a half before the release of Avengers 4. And in traditional fashion, Entertainment Weekly has delivered us our first official look at Captain Mar-Vell, as well as some of the characters that will be featured within the film. First and foremost, we have Carol Danvers in her traditional red and gold Captain Mar-Vell uniform. And now that we've finally seen a really good image of Carol Danvers in the costume, I can definitively say that this uniform is amazing. And I just love how vibrant the costume really is, especially with the golden emblem. And even though it does have this traditional MCU look to the aesthetic, I can still tell that this is supposed to be Captain Mar-Vell, and they've nailed the costume. And we even get to see how the costume is going to look within the film itself. And even with this lighting, it still looks badass, and I'm hoping that Brie Larson can actually pull off this role, and I honestly do believe that she does have the potential. But not only that, we do get to see some familiar faces, such as the younger Nick Fury, who clearly has both of his eyes intact, as to which we do know that the movie will take place before Phase 1, at least in terms of the timeline. And it should be pretty interesting to see how Nick Fury has came into contact with Carol Danvers and how their relationship is developed in this film. But someone who is fresh to the MCU is of course Captain Mar-Vell himself, who unlike most of the Krees before him, he has pale skin, which does beg the question on how this is actually going to play out. Granted, I am aware that he did have pale skin in the comics, but truth be told, I'm not very familiar with the character of Mar-Vell. But surely there is some definitive answer to this. But going back to familiar faces, we do get to see the return of Ronan the Accuser, and I am very excited with this. Because despite him being underdeveloped in Guardians of the Galaxy, I still really enjoyed him as a villain, and I'm hoping that they're going to delve into his madness and how he was ultimately exiled from the Kree Empire. And then in this image right here, we do get to see Carol Danvers as well as Korath and the rest of the Star Force. Admittedly, I'm not very familiar with the team Star Force, but given how the future of the MCU is going to be more cosmic based, I do have a feeling in that these characters will play a bigger part within the future. And last but not least, we do get to see the main villains for the movie, which are of course the Skrulls, and I will say that they look more or less spot on. They've got the ears, they have the green skin, and of course they do have their mutated chins. And sure, they did kinda remove the purple cap and instead sort of gave them purple tattoos on their heads, as well as them weird veins, but honestly, I think this is a nice touch. But clear as day, they're going to look a lot better here than they will in Dark Phoenix. But on a whole, these images right here have me all the more excited to see Captain Mar-Vell, and it is quite possibly one of my most anticipated comic book films of 2019. Because not only is it going to be more of an expansion for the MCU, but it's also going to give us a bit more backstory before we lead up to Avengers 4. Now whether we get the first trailer this week or even this month, I have no idea, but if we're not going to get it this month, then chances are we're probably going to get it on October, where the trailer will be attached to Venom, or the trailer might be shown during this year's New York Comic Con, which even then, I highly doubt that Marvel does have a huge presence when it comes down to the film department. But either way, a trailer isn't too far behind. So what do you think of our first official look at Captain Mar-Vell? What do you personally think of the new costume, and who are your most anticipated characters who will be making their appearance in this movie? Comment below and share some thoughts. And as always, thank you guys for watching this video, please like and subscribe, take care and have a good one.